Hello and welcome to the BladedTech Show number 25. Trying to sync that was awful. So I don't know if it's actually synced up, but here's hoping. So if you're listening to the audio version of the podcast, what did you think of the theme song? If you're watching me, you'll obviously notice that you see a window behind me instead of the wall back here. That's because I no longer have a monitor. But anyways, welcome to the BladedTech Show. It's gonna be a really long podcast because I have a lot to talk about in terms of this week's content, all that fun stuff. So anyways, let's get started, shall we? So, I did recommended entertainment for last week. You can view that on Tumblr, but basically what recommended entertainment is a new segment I'm doing on my Tumblr, which you can find at thebladedtechshow.tumblr.com. Description if you're watching this. I just told you the link. Yeah, it'll all be there. Anyways. And then I posted a thing about what Alien Isolation taught me about stealth games, and that's a very informative piece of, this is basically the plug section if you guys aren't familiar. Then I'm doing daily vlogs. I did a review of 22 Jump Street. I did Shadow of Mordor review. Another recommended entertainment for this week, Alien Isolation, that just went up. A Walk Among the Tombstones is going up today. And Windows 10 event coverage over on Tumblr. American Beauty, American Psycho a review tomorrow. Limbo review tomorrow. Self-Inflicted Wounds by Aisha Tyler review tomorrow. Far Cry 4 review. I think that's... Hold on, let me look at my calendar. Far Cry is Thursday, yeah. And then... Papers, Please, and Moto X 2nd Generation. And then we'll start out next week with games I missed in 2014, where a game's going, possibly a review podcast, and community playdates. Next week's actually going to be a lot more fun than this week, because I'm starting to get like a following and all that fun stuff. So anyways, that has been this week's content. That covers the past week as well as the upcoming week. So let's get into our entertainment talks. You know, what entertainment I've been consuming this week. So I have been playing Limbo, Assassin's Creed Unity, Dead Kings, Alien Isolation, Grand Theft Auto 5, the Evolve Open Beta, D4 Dark Dreams Don't Die, Shadow of Mordor, Walk Among the Tombstone, Far Cry 4, Papers, Please, Just Cause 2, sharing my game clips on Twitter, my insane backlog of 115 games, the battle between books, Hulu, and video games, and Arrow and the Flash return to DV. So I'm gonna go, if you're unfamiliar to the BladedTech Show, what I do here is, more recently I've been promoting this week's content, what's happened between the BladedTech Show and what's going to happen between the next BladedTech Show episode, and you can find me on iTunes and all that, whatnot. But yeah, I just talk about games, movies, TV shows I've been watching. So, anyways, let's get into it. Limbo, I've been hitting a proverbial brick wall, but it's going. I progressed a little bit, but I actually that's a game I actually have to play with a guide. I think I said that last week, but I really do have to play that with a guide. Or at least with my brother, because he knows timing and all that fun stuff, so I'm like, oh, I can't beat Limbo because I'm not good at platformers. So I've been asking for assistance on that. Assassin's Creed Unity Dead Kings, I played maybe one mission of it. I like the opening of it, and it's really bad. Even though it's free, I don't recommend it so far. I'm probably not going to go back to Dead Kings to review it. because it is just that bad. Because it starts off after Assassin's Creed Unity, with Arno having all of his having all of his gear and stuff, but you can play it. Here's my problem. You can play it after Sequence 4 ends. And to my knowledge, Sequence 4 is pretty early in the game. I think there's 13 sequences, or 12 sequences. So that's only a third of the way through the game. And you're not even like, it's just a really bad game. But a really bad DLC. Because, I don't know, man. It just doesn't hit that same chord that AC Unity does. In that, it's much more about myths and stuff than about, it's Assassins vs. Templar, go kill the Templar at the end of the game. Cool. Okay. I've been playing a little bit of Alien Isolation, and holy crap, the alien is scary. I posted a review on that, but oh man. Go check out xboxclips.com, search BladedTech, my gamer tag, and just look at the Alien Isolation clips. Oh man. Watching the alien just walk by, and he's this imposing character, and it's just like, it's really terrifying. And it's also one of those games where you have to play it before you know he's scary, or you have to see somebody play it when you know it's scary, because, or at least have headphones in, because those are definitely a game made for stereo headphones. Yeah, it's just, woof. Then I've been messing around in Los Santos, in Grand Theft Auto 5. Basically just doing nothing but driving around, doing drive-bys, and stuff like that. Not really much progress made in that, but I think I'm going to start messing around with online. Now that I dipped in over the weekend, and now it seems to be populated, so that's fun. I'll probably mess around with that. Speaking of messing around in multiplayer, I played the Evolve open beta, and my impressions of it are that it's Dota 2 mixed with Titanfall and Left 4 Dead. Now, I say Dota 2, Titanfall, and Left 4 Dead because when you play as a monster, you have 4 abilities you can choose. And that monster is in third person, and you've got to hunt wild animals so that you can evolve, while also scurrying away from the hunters before they capture you and kill you. And speaking of the hunters, I say Titanfall because Titanfall is multiplayer only, and first person and moving around and all that fun stuff. So you've got a first, third person game. It's really cool. And Left 4 Dead in the style that each character has a specific role in the game. So you have your assault, which is made, okay, I gotta take down the monster. Then you've got your medic, which is kind of like supporting the entire team while also trying to get some hits on the monster. Then you've got the trapper, who's actually trying to capture the monster. Then you've got support, who's just supporting the assaults. So it's a very, very deep game. I recommend everyone. This actually Evolve open beta opened my eyes to say, hey, don't worry about the longevity of this game, because the fact that it just has Dota 2 elements in it, mixed in with Titanfall and Left 4 Dead, I mean, that alone is worth a buy. I wouldn't pre-order it, but I would definitely, I'd try to secure a copy within the first month of that. So, yeah, it's a fun little game. Moving on to D4, Dark Dreams Don't Die. And this is a new game I've been playing. I feel it's what Japanese people interpret Telltale Games content as, because it's an adventure game, but it's got this stuff with Connect, and it's got, and I'm sure it's just caught in the crossfire of, oh, the Connect's in there. No, it's not. I think I was trying to take advantage of that while it still had it, although I think a patch could be, you could still play it with a controller, but, I mean, just having the option between Kinect and controller is a no-brainer anymore, because, like in the Xbox 360 lifestyle, they focus so much on Kinect that they're like, alright, what about the controller stuff? And it's an adventure game, but it's like a detective-style noir video, not noir, it's a detective-style adventure game, and I just don't like that. And it's being crazy for to say it's crazy. And I don't know if it's just a thing between me and Japanese games. Actually, no, I really like Japanese games. I like platinum games, and Story 65, I guess, is not my type. But I did not like D4 Dark Dreams Don't Die. I played the prologue, and I was like, alright, as soon as I finish the prologue, I'm done with this game. I'm gonna, actually, I haven't uninstalled it, but I'm not going to play it anymore. Speaking of better games, I played quite a bit of Shadow of Mordor. That review is up now. Yeah, it went up yesterday. If you're listening to this on the day I recorded it. Anyways, I killed the hammer, I took down statues, and there's a mention or two of some Lord of the Rings characters, and a new place. So I made significant progress in Shadow of Mordor. I basically beat about half the game so far. Well, I beat half a game in a day. I took 6 or 7 hours out of my day and just straight marathon Shadow of Mordor until I killed the war chiefs. And here's the cool thing about Shadow of Mordor. When you kill the war chiefs, you face a black captain. This black captain was named the Hammer, and like his name says, he has a huge hammer that has like area of effect and directional attacks. It's very cool. I felt the hammer was a bit too easy, but you know, it's all fun and games. And I'm actually to a new place called the Sea of Nirn, which has new war chiefs, and I gotta take those guys down. It does get a little bit repetitive, but it's cool. It's cool. There is a mention of a certain Lord of the Rings villain. The dude in the White Tower, Saruman, is in this game. And I took down some statues. It's a really fun game. You should read my review over on the BladedTechShow.tumblr.com. And then today, I will be reviewing A Walk Among the Tombstones, which is Liam Neeson in an indie version of Taken. So the premise of the movie is Liam Neeson is a former cop who turned private detective, who now has to find the killer of his client's wife. So that's how I take it as an indie version of Taken, because it's just him and he's killing people because he wants to figure out what's going on. So yeah, that's a okay game. Let me check my levels here. All good to go. Alright. Let's view my levels, please. Alright. Yeah, we're still cool. Alright. In Far Cry 4, I've been doing some government intel and getting high. I realize how that sounds. But yeah, I've been doing some Yogi and Reggie missions, which I apparently have to do. I have Willis from Far Cry 3. Now, answer me this, Internet. Why is Willis in the game? I know I just spoiled a lot of the game for you, but you meet Willis in Far Cry 4, and he's from Far Cry 3, and I have no idea why he's in this game, other than to push you along and say, hey, remember this face? And it almost, it pulls me out of the game, because the point of Far Cry, the franchise, is to have a self-contained experience. Yes, it may have a number on it, but it's in a different place with different people and a different conflict, and generally just a different game. Because Far Cry 2, you had malaria in Africa, and you were trying to take out a warlord called the Jackal. But as you went there, you started to work for the people and start a real uprising in the government. And then Far Cry 3 is all about insanity. Far Cry 4, it's all about may pagan's light shine upon you all. That kind of thing. And I'm like, okay. But yeah, it's just weird. But yeah, I've been enjoying my time with Far Cry 4. I finally played Papers, Please. Anyways, that is a very hard game to micromanage. If you haven't heard of it, just go download it. It's a very hard game to explain, other than you just click on stuff and say, alright, you can go, until somebody can't go, and then you've got to inspect their documents and all that fun stuff. Because the government's impressive and all that. And it's actually more of a social commentary piece than anything. Because, I mean, it's like, right... Anyways, let's move on to Just Cause 2. Holy crap. That game is not optimized for PC. I was running at 13 frames per second. Maybe it's just because I'm running it on this here laptop here, which only has a 1.8 GHz dual-core Intel Celeron processor. But, I mean, that's a game that came out in 2010. If I can run Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons, Gone Home, and stuff like that, I should be able to run Just Cause 2. Come on, guys. I've been sharing game clips on Twitter, so what do you think of that? Go to my Twitter feed at AustinBelzer if you aren't right now, already on it, and you'll see game clips. Do you like that I'm sharing game clips on Twitter? Should I keep on doing that? Give me some feedback on that. Also, I'm trying to put a dent in my backlog of 115 games. Now that's across PS3, Xbox 360, PC, Wii, and I think that's it. PS3, 360, Xbox 360, Xbox One, and Wii. Yeah, 115 games I have to finish. Yikes. And then I've got the battle between books, between books, Hulu, and video games. The battle between books is I've got 4 books I need to read. What do I do? Then I've got Hulu Plus just sitting there with a 3-month subscription. And then I've got all these video games I need to finish. So what do I do? That's actually something I've been doing. It's like, do I read a book? Do I watch Hulu? Or do I watch video games? And do I play video games? I really don't watch video games. It's not because I already have all the video games that are mentioned, unless it's PC play. But yeah, it's a really hard struggle because there's and even podcasts. I listen to a lot of video game podcasts, like informative podcasts, and it's getting harder and harder to be like, oh yeah, I'll read a book, or oh yeah, I'll watch Hulu, or oh yeah, I'll play a video game, or oh yeah, I'll listen to a podcast. It's so mind-boggling now. But the bright side is Arrow and the Flash return to TV. The Flash returns today, actually tonight, and Arrow returns tomorrow. So while I'll be watching The Flash, Arrow will be like, Arrow, Season 3, Episode 10. Ugh. And sorry if my voice is getting a little numb, but I've been recording for 20 minutes? Oh, that's it? Okay. But I'm going to wrap this up with life topics. I released an album at bladedtech.bandcamp.com. You should all listen to it. It's free from... I don't know, I was going to put there. It's just free. I recorded it. I put a lot of work into it that I could. I made some curly fries to celebrate. But yeah, let me make a few edits here. Alright, sorry, I had to remove something that wasn't there. I had to remove something that wasn't applicable. So anyways, I've been making curly fries with the spiralizer, and it's fantastic. You should all try it at least once in your life. But remember to pat down the starches, because that's going to be a really problem when you start cooking it in the microwave, and all the starch is starting to starchy up. Yeah, it gets a real problem after a few days. But other than that, I've been searching for an apartment and a job. So with that, I leave you to your devices. That has been the BladedTech Show number 25. And I'll see you next time. Possibly with a guest, I don't know.